Do good, Maverick here. Welcome to podcast episode number 157, where I want to share another one of my favorite movie scenes, the will to act. This is a scene from Batman Begins, where Christian Bale, playing Batman, is getting trained by his trainer, played by Liam Neeson. They're out on this thin ice on the water, fighting with swords, and yeah, Liam Neeson, the trainer, is giving Batman some piece of advice. Let me share the clip.
Will to act.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the bad audio there, but he was basically saying training is nothing without the will to act. And when it comes to talking about the will to act, taking action, I was reminded about a piece of advice from Dan Pena. Let me share a little clip from Dan Pena.
Perfection equals paralysis. If you left it to engineers, no car would ever come off the assembly line. No car would ever come off the assembly line. And I've been in business with enough engineers, I can attest to that with my hand on my heart. They'd still be trying to make it better. And the internet business is very much the same. The internet kids want to test and test and test, and they want the landing page to be this. And roll it out. The great thing about the internet is your results are instantaneous. If something that I'm overseeing at the Concord level, 60,000 feet, doesn't work in 2 days, forget about it, move on. And today at our meeting, now the young kids are, we ran it 3 days, sir, and we closed it down. And they are thinking I'm going to ask why. I said, no, that's fine. Next. Because without them making mistakes and without them being allowed to make the decision, they never get any better. And 95% of the time, I know probably better than they do. We're never going to be able to know everything or have them know everything unless they make some mistakes and get comfortable with making mistakes. What gets measured gets accomplished. Without measurement, you're just fooling yourself.
So yeah, there we have it from Dan Pena as well. Perfection equals paralysis. And he talked about online marketers or online entrepreneurs as well. And we have a little bit of insight into that world as well. A little bit, probably a bunch, because he has a bunch of clients that are hiring him for coaching or mentoring. And yeah, a lot of those are young people that are into online entrepreneurship and things like that. And he was basically talking about how those online marketers, those online entrepreneurs, they want to test and tweak things and kind of almost perfect things before they launch it, before they roll it out. He was telling them to roll it out and test it. Because then you can get real market feedback. And it's actually pretty mind-boggling to think about. There's a lot of people out there that are making money online, a lot of money. They have a landing page or an offer, basically a marketing campaign that is converting like crazy, almost printing money, as they say. Maybe they are selling some kind of information product or health supplement or membership subscription, something like that. Maybe a software. And the marketing is working great. They run a campaign. They make a bunch of money, maybe even $1 million in profit. Then what do? Well, the logical thing to do would be to kind of keep running it until it stops working. But that's not always happening. It is in a tremendous amount of cases, they stop doing it. It's like they spent maybe months trying to get something to work, and once it worked, they did it for a little while, and then they stopped doing it. It actually happens a lot. Maybe they were running a webinar that made them a bunch of money, and suddenly they just stopped doing it. Pretty mind-boggling, but it happens. The will to act, perfection equals paralysis. There's a lot of people out there that are stopping. They stop promoting marketing campaigns that are converting. They're making money, but they stop doing it because they want to perfect it or optimize it, tweak it. They could do that. They probably should, but you don't have to stop everything in order to split test some things and tweak things, optimize things, you know. But yeah, the will to act, taking action, that's a big one. Paralysis by analysis, that's a pretty big one in the modern world, especially when it comes to things online. A pretty fascinating story. One guy I interviewed for Terrific 30 for community cash cows. He was running a paid community. He and a friend in Germany, a paid community about AI. And they had this workshop that they made, and they promoted that workshop to an email list that another guy was owning. And that guy was promoting the workshop to his email list as an affiliate. And he did it several times. I think it was like 2 or 3 times, and it worked. They made some money. They made some sales and got some members. So they kept doing it. I forgot if it was the 3rd or 5th time, something like that. It was like, boom, it stopped working. And his friend was like, oh, the workshop is not working anymore. Oh, we need to change something. I think maybe we need to redo the whole thing or find something else. Or he was like almost panicking. We need to stop everything when it comes to promoting this thing. And the other guy was like, nah, I don't think we should stop this because it already worked several times before, very recently. They were usually mailing the list 2 times per week, 2 or 3 times. I think I think it was 2 times per week. So it worked very recently, and now it just suddenly stopped. No, I think there has to be something else going on. Maybe something weird happened, or yeah, let's just continue using it and see if it starts working again. And his friend was like really skeptical, but no, let's just run it again and see if it works. And yeah, it worked. It just kept on working. And after that, they just kept mailing it like 2 times per week to his email list, or the email list owner was mailing it to his list like 2 times per week as an affiliate, and they generated a bunch of sales. Imagine if they had stopped in the beginning, if they had not been willing to act on it. The will to act, sometimes you have to act even if it's not perfect. Oh, it stopped working. Maybe we should. The guy was getting anxious. Maybe we should stop the whole thing. But the other friend was like, oh, we should just act on this. Let's just continue doing it and see if it works. If it works again. And it did. And they made like tens of thousands of dollars in profit off of using that workshop. Because that glitch, or that special event when they got no sales, was happening very early on when they started using that workshop. But yeah, it kept on working. Imagine all the people out there that have been that have been shutting down massively successful webinars, marketing campaigns, just because something weird happened. Or maybe because of some rude comments, or yeah. Or just because they got tired of it themselves. Or maybe because they had just scheduled it to use it for 2 months and they wanted to go over to the next thing. While maybe they should just have kept mailing it or promoting it. Things like that. Scenarios like that, it happens a lot. But yeah. And by the way, that guy that I just mentioned in Germany, he and his friend, when I was interviewing him a few weeks ago, by the time of this recording, then he was making about 18,000 euros in profit per month. Both he and his friend was making that each. And these days he was working less than 4 hours per week. His mom was sick, so he was spending a bunch of time with his mom these days. So, yeah. The dream of freedom is possible. So yeah, that's just a little gem from Batman, The Will to Act, and from Dan Pena, Perfection Equals Paralysis. All right. By the way, if you want to learn more from those real-life success stories about paid communities that are making at least $10,000 in profit per month, and if you also want to connect with other people that are in the process of building their own paid community, you should go to communitycashcows.com. All right, take care and God bless.